The camera's rolling. I'm gonna put this a little bit closer. I'm yawning because of the food we had. We just ate great. Anyway. And camera's rolling, so everything is content. I typically, I don't have an introduction for my interviews, but I do come into my interviews with grace. So like I've told everybody who's come to my channel, one, you can look at me, look at the camera all the time. This is an interview, but it's a conversation between two people. So with that being said, first and foremost, thank you for coming to my channel. Big shout out to Chris. I'm gonna make sure to give him his flowers towards the end, but you are within the realm of cosplay, also within the realm of fitness. I've seen some of the things that you have cosplayed as, and I said, hey, well, let me ask somebody first, because you know, social anxiety and shit. But let me network this to have you come down and sit down and tell us your story. So with that being said, thank you so much for coming to my channel, telling your story in cosplay, fitness, whatever, to my audience. That's typically how I do my introduction. So with that being said, please introduce yourself, and we'll just go from there.
Well, first off, thank you for inviting me, and also thank you to Chris for extending the opportunity to me to be able to speak on your platform. So originally, I am from Portsmouth, Virginia. I was born there.
Hey, VA.
Yeah. Technically, I'm a Navy brat, along with my sister. I have a younger sister, about 2.5 years younger than I am, and my parents, they were both in the Navy. They both met in the Navy, and we moved around a lot, like Louisiana, Florida, ended up in Virginia, and then down here.
So with that being said, where did your love for anime start? Like, how old were you when you were introduced to anime?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say I was introduced to anime around 4 or 5 years old.
Chris, can you make sure the camera's still going? It's the anxiety going. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're right. So about 4 or 5 years old, I was introduced to anime. And my very first anime was actually Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Like the original, like Kid Goku Dragon Ball and all that?
So it was, I want to say it was either Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. It's kind of fuzzy as far as memory-wise, but.
So like, what do you recall? Like the first, like what? I'm pretty sure because we all didn't watch them in order, but like, what episode was on that you can recall? Like when you first was introduced to anime, like was it him fighting Piccolo? Was it him fighting Tien? Did he meet his pervy man? So what was on at that time?
I feel like it was around the time when he was fighting Piccolo. Like,
okay. Towards the back end, before King Piccolo or his son?
Well, King Piccolo, and then he fought his son like towards the end of Dragon Ball, and then I got into Dragon Ball Z as like a continuation after like Chi-Chi and Goku got married after she reminded them of like their promise.
Basically, your life is over. Now let me stop. So what caught your eye about it? Was it just a trend? Was it because it was something everybody was watching? Like what got you into that being your first? What got you into that one?
Really, it was the storytelling for me. Like, there's just this whole different world of like this kid that just grew up, and it turns out he was an alien from another planet. That
plot twist, yeah.
That he just dropped off on this planet that he's unfamiliar with, and he grows up under the tutelage of a martial arts master, and then after he goes and like, you know what happens with that, and then he ends up meeting another teacher, and then gets training under him, and then his best friend he meets through that training.
I got you.
It's just the whole story that unfolds and like the journeys that they go on together.
So tell us, who's your favorite character in Dragon Ball Z?
It's a good question. I'm gonna just be cliche and say Goku because I can resonate with Goku's.
Out of all of them, between Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, Goku?
See,
no, I'm asking. Yeah.
That complicates it a little bit. I would say Goku, and then close second, Piccolo.
Okay.
I love Piccolo.
So if you don't mind me asking, so what was it about their character traits that you liked for you to say these are my favorite characters, regardless if it's cliche? Like what were some character traits that you liked about those individuals?
Well, Goku is kind of a carefree spirit. He's very loyal and fierce and protective over his loved ones and people that he's very protective over. He has a strong moral sense of justice as far as
like right and wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
That attracted me to his character. Piccolo, is also kind of like that, but he's on a more serious side, and he's more like kind of straight edge by the book.
A lot of
Like,
a lot of character development because he definitely was a bad guy in the beginning.
yeah.
But yeah, so I'm kidding. So not so Dragon Ball Z was the base. Got you. So what? So is it safe to say that you with your probably a dumb question? Do you remember what year that was? Out of curiosity, like when you
Like specifically,
like was it the '90s to early 2000s? There's a reason why I ask.
I want to say it was around like the late '90s because
Okay.
I'm a '90s kid.
Yeah, it's a
born-
90s baby in the building. Hey,
yeah.
say less. So, my bad. The reason why I asked, so is it safe to assume that your base for anime is action based? Like other animes that you liked were action based?
Yes.
Okay, so give us some more start naming your list of animes that,
Okay.
that caught your eye.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little extensive list. I would
Let's
probably
do it.
say Inuyasha, Mobile Suit Gundam,
Hell yeah.
Samurai Champloo,
Yes, sir.
Cowboy Bebop.
Y'all hear this? This is a real 90 baby right here. This when anime made sense.
Right,
But yeah,
like
but
the golden era, like
see, he said it. Golden. No, let me stop. But yeah, we gonna get to that too. But like, I'm gonna bring it back full circle. But anime today versus anime back then is kind. But anyway, so continue with your list, brother.
oh yeah. I special mention Sailor Moon.
Got you.
I
You did
love
that for Diana, didn't you? No, let me stop. Hey, shout out Diana for real. Thank you. Yeah.
Like it was interesting because I did grow up with like a lot of like feminine type lead role shows as well, like Totally Spies.
Is that really more of an anime or a cartoon?
It's more of a cartoon.
I'll take that. But anyway, you were
but
saying?
like Kim Possible, if you will, I guess.
Is that more of an anime or a cartoon? I'm asking.
It's a cartoon.
Okay, there we go. I was gonna say,
It's,
but yeah.
it's like the American version of like probably another cartoon. There's a lot of adaptations and stuff.
I got you. So with that, like, when did you get into other genres of anime? Like what? Cause so like, example, like it took me a while to like, shout out to Sheed. But anyway, it took me a while to get into like horror. I think so. My first was like action and adventure.
Okay.
Then there was this one anime that led me into horror animes, which was called Elfen Lied. Very gruesome.
Okay.
Wouldn't recommend watching that as a youngin. But no, I think I was stuck just strictly on action for years before I branched off to different genres.
Okay.
So did you just specifically? Did you stay within that realm of action for the longest time before you moved to other genres, or?
I did. I would say I was around that range as far as like the animes that we mentioned earlier. As far as like I did dabble into like different genres as far as like Death Note, Berserk.
Mark,
Yeah.
30 years and Guts still ain't got his lick back. That is crazy. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, it gets a little tough as far as like certain animes, like just the level of like realness and grittiness of
It invokes emotion sometimes a little bit. It's kind of
Yes.
like, damn, in a real life situation,
Yeah.
I probably would have wrote his name in that book too. Now let me oh shit, I'm sorry.
because that's real though, because like it shows the complexity of like just the human emotions and like what your moral compass is or what a person's. It shows you like the light and dark, like the yin and yang of like
The aspect of being a human,
Yeah.
the aspect of being us.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you. So, if you don't mind me asking, right, like, so, being a 90s baby, would you say that anime has gotten better or would you say it's gotten worse? And we talked about this when we broke bread and sat down, but the reason why I asked that, right, it's kind of like, for me, and I set the bar really, really high when it comes to anime. I will admit that. But for me, right, there's no sense of nostalgia anymore in these animes. Now, maybe because it now, what was it? You got Jujutsu Kaisen, you know, that one is on the rise. So it's apparently it's doing something if it's growing popular. Demon Slayer, you know, another one, but Baki has been around. Baki the Grappler has been around for the longest, but it's kind of like other animes, whether they're Netflix specials or they're on the websites or whatever. It's just like they're generic. Like, what other anime you know that really has over 100 episodes? That outside of Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, One Piece, the Gundam franchise in itself is kind of like do you feel with everything that I just said? Do you feel like the quality of anime is different now than it was back then? And if it is, do you think it's like that for the better?
Yeah, I feel like there is a difference with the quality of the anime because before, like towards the 80s and 90s, those animes were like more storyline based. Like even if we take it all the way back to like Akira, like there was a deep, rich storyline and different nuances, if you will, as far as like real world applications. And like now, it kind of seems like there's like a blueprint as far as what to follow now because there's not really as much ingenuity or creativity as far as anime. Like, dare I say, I mean, My Hero Academia is good,
Yeah.
but like it kind of follows a specific like
So
kind of plot.
would you say it? So we just said that anime is good, cool. Would you say it's kind of hard to stick with the plot because it and I'm not My Hero Academia fans, please don't come at me. That's just my opinion, but it's not really. Am I going too far in saying it's not really generic versus the OG animes that we have? It's kind of like they're following that blueprint, like we recognize this, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like it gives you some sense of Dragon Ball Z, it gives you some sense of One Piece, it gives you some sense of Bleach and even Roni. It's kind of like, you know, so but am I going too far in saying that with using My Hero Academia as a blueprint?
I wouldn't say that would be wrong as far as your perspective. Like, I've heard growing up, like from my dad, like there's nothing new under the sun for the most part. And to unpack that is like, I mean, we all get inspiration from each other. We all get inspiration off of an idea that already was in existence, and we kind of just put our own spin on it sometimes, and that creates something new entirely of itself. So I guess it just depends on like how a person sees it or how a person wants to like run with it or which direction they want to go.
So allow me to ask you this, right? It's a two-part question. So back in our time, the 80s and 90s, well, we 90s, baby, we saw some 80s anime, I know we did. Who would you say were the big three in our time coming up?
That's a good question. And there were so many. I mean, does Dragon Ball count?
No, it does, but whatever the franchise is, what would you say is the big three of our era, of the 90s, for the 90s babies?
Definitely Dragon Ball's up there.
Okay.
For the girls, I would say Sailor Moon.
Okay.
And
Shout out Diana. Let me start your hair.
And then, man, that third spot.
Tough.
Yeah.
No, give us one.
Because there were so many good ones. I want to say, I'm trying to name one I haven't named already.
No, you can name it if it's part of that big three in your perspective. This is your perspective. Fuck what they got to think. But you got Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and what do you think the third one is?
I'm going to have to put Mobile Suit Gundam in.
Okay, there we go. So the reason why I asked that, those big three, we'll use that as a base. What would you say the big three now is?
Well, One Piece, technically, because it's been around, but it's still
for the longest.
New.
So some people still learning Ace died, spoiler if you haven't seen it, and he's been dead for like 20 years, but One Piece?
Yeah, it's like 1,000+ episodes. It's going to take a while to catch up on. You got to binge watch that in your free time. So One Piece, I'm going to throw JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen out there. And third spot. I guess since Bleach just came back, I'm gonna throw Bleach in there.
I'll take that. So do you think the new generation is really keeping up? And regardless if this is your big three, they fall into a category in generation. Do you think today's big three is really keeping up with the big three that you just mentioned, that generation?
I would say in certain aspects, yes, but then in other aspects, as far as from the nostalgia standpoint, not as much. Because,
anyway, let me start. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because like it's like the OGs are like always gonna be the OGs. Like you can get inspiration from those. You can go back. It's a classic. Like you can go back and watch it over and over again and get that sense of nostalgia all over again. But like with the new ones, I mean, it's a different era, so it's not. It's gonna hit the same for a different generation, rather than the ones before, because we already have like a blueprint off of what we're basing everything else off of, if you will.
So no, the reason why I'm so hard on anime today, and maybe I'll admit this, maybe I'm part of the problem. You know, no, only reason I say that is it's kind of like, I feel like it's not as generic. I have a love-hate relationship for it, but remember back in our era, you either were good or you were bad. Now in this era, it's kind of like I can relate to the bad guy a lot, and I feel like that's to me that's conflicting and a problem.
Yeah.
I feel am I wrong in thinking, okay, maybe the bad guys weren't so bad if we were put in their shoes, like we would take that route. Like there's really no anti-villain no more. There's just, hey man, hey, what's that meme? Real shit. This dude speaking facts. Nah, let me stop.
Yeah.
But my bad. I know I'm rambling. So, bringing it full circle, like, do you think the direction of anime, like, if it continues the way that it is, like anime will be a big thing, or do you think it'll die out because it's not hitting the way that it is supposed to?
I feel like if anime were to take the direction as far as like, I don't know why I didn't mention this earlier, but Naruto. Naruto should have been up there as far as like in
The big three?
Yeah.
No, it's still part of that, but continue. Still part of that generation, so they know.
Yeah. So like with Naruto, like I think what makes Naruto so powerful is kind of like similar to like Dragon Ball story, like the deep like storylines. Like as far as a lot of people could probably relate to Itachi's storyline. Like he was really kind-hearted spirit at heart, but then like
Just fuck the genocide shit that he did. No, I'm kidding.
I got you.
Morally, no, I get it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like he was like a good dude, but then like his influences and like what he had to do to maintain like the status quo, if you will, he had to make some very morally challenging decisions to.
It involved genocide, but yeah. Anyway,
to, like, I'm basically kind of reasoning and justifying, but.
No, so how about this? Since you bring that up, do you think his choice was justified, even though it eradicated a whole clan?
I feel like that's the way. I feel like honestly, I feel like that's the same thing as like Aaron from what's the name of the show? I'm having a brain fire. Right
Me too, bro. That's why I said when you said I don't know, but anyway,
Attack on Titan.
Okay.
I feel like that's the same type of scenario as far as was Aaron right.
Having to do the morally right thing surrounded by a whole bunch of wrong, and at the end of the day, you're gonna be viewed. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So we probably empathize with those characters because again, we as humans were always put, or there will become maybe not genocide, but we'll be put in tough situations, and we have to make a decision for the greater good. Now, sometimes onlookers may not see it that way, but the end result is necessary for the good. Yeah. So sometimes you do have to play that role of a villain. I get it, but not really. Yeah. In that situation, I got it. Because like for the Naruto fans, if you dissect that whole situation, it was kind of like, yeah, nah, they legit did have to go. But I got you. I get it. So now that we've established your like and your base for anime, your cosplay journey. So how old were you when you first got into cosplay, and what year did you go to your first cosplay con?
So I went to my first cosplay con in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So that was about 8 years ago.
Yes,
so
sir.
About 22. Yeah.
So what was your expectations like going to that? Like what were you expecting going to your very first con?
Actually wasn't really expecting much, but I was like, since I'm already into anime, why not? Because I was invited by a coworker to go to Animazement as my first convention. I was like, sure. I mean, you're in anime, I'm in anime, why not? And So I went with my coworker, and they brought their sister, and we walked around the convention center and saw all the different people cosplaying, and it was kind of like a culture shock to me because I was like, growing up, we used to get like
Beat the fuck up for this shit, yeah.
yeah, teased. It was
Yeah.
taboo to even like talk about anime around like most of the kids. Like we just have our own like group of people that we kind of
You knew who like anime and you knew who didn't. I got you.
Kind
Yeah.
of just kept it in that group. As far
Look at us now, bitch. We on the come up. I'm so sorry. Continue.
You good.
Yeah. Anyway, so went to the animazement, went to the culture shock, went through that culture shock. So, how many more cosplay anime cons did you go to before you said, all right, time for me to put on the big boy boots and suit up? Like, how many cons did you go to before you decided it's time to put this whatever suit on?
It actually took me a while after 2016. I don't know why I didn't continue going to conventions after that. I think I just got caught up in like
Life.
Life, surviving as far as like working to pay the bills and stuff. But my I guess first convention again as far as like when I after 2016 was probably around 2022, 2023, and after I went to like I think it was GalaxyCon, and I was like, yo, this is huge. I'm like, I didn't realize it was that many people. I think it was like 12,000 people like over the course of the weekend. I was like, this many people like anime, and growing up, I could hardly find anybody.
Yeah, I'll say this. Maybe it's all about proximity, where you grow up from, where you're from, how you grow up. So I can empathize with what I said it, but what you were leaning to earlier. So and it's a culture shock because we experienced this as an adult versus seeing like maybe our perspective in general probably would have changed if we saw more of this like coming up as youngins. But I mean, at the end of the day, you got introduced to something, and let me guess, you felt very accepted in it, right?
Yes.
I think that's a really good and powerful feeling. Regardless of when it happened, and I'm pretty sure you're grateful for that experience because I'm pretty sure you've met some phenomenal ass people in the cosplay community.
Yeah.
So, when you, what year did you cosplay again?
So originally I went in 2016. I did cosplay as a Pokemon Generation 2 trainer. I think his name was Ethan or something like that.
So why that? If there is a long list, out of everybody you what stuck out to him to where you said I'm gonna suit up as him?
I feel like it was a bit of a nostalgia as far as my choice of characters. Sometimes if you look at like my choice of characters as far as who I cosplay, they're mostly like characters that are like older from like when I was growing up. So like for example, Static Shock was a good staple.
We gonna get into that one because when I see you cosplay as that, I said he represents that character fairly well. But anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So like I generally cosplay characters that I have some type of attachment to or resonate with as far as their values.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead. So what's that one? You're Static Shock. Now you do good with your 17, but when I saw your cosplay for Static Shock, like I don't, and I might be misspeaking. I don't give a damn. I'm trying to tell y'all, and it's gonna be tagged over him. Y'all know how I do my interviews. Check out his page. Go to his Static Shock like cosplay. You be like, that's stat. But anyway, but so like, thank you for great representation of that character, brother. But anyway, so what was it about Static that? Sorry, damn, I'm going all over my brain. Okay, before we get to Static, the Ethan character. Let's finish on him. So you first cosplayed as him because there was a light character trait. So like. Also, was there a sense of nostalgia because from a gaming aspect, like playing? So is that why you chose him? So, educate me and my audience. So what gym leader was he? Like was he the fire, rock? Like what were his Pokemon? If that makes sense. So, you don't have to say his Pokemon, but like the elements.
Yeah. So like he's the Generation 2 Pokemon trainer from Johto. So everybody knows Ash is from the first generation. So the second generation is Johto, so it's a combination of a new region and then
the old one.
The old one.
Okay.
So I like have to have both, like the duality of both. So he is a fresh perspective. So like with the Johto games, I grew up playing Game Boy Color with the Pokemon Gold version.
Oh, so your base for Pokemon wasn't red, blue, or green, huh?
I mean, I did play it, but I started with either Charmander or Squirtle.
But no, but your first Pokemon game was the second generation? I'm asking.
No, it was Pokemon Yellow.
Okay,
Okay,
then I misspoke. But
I
continue.
started with the first generation, but
got
I
you.
just prefer the second generation more
I
because
got you.
it introduced new Pokemon types.
Past the 150, yeah.
and
Okay.
then also new legendaries.
So who was your Pokemon of choice in the second generation?
I like the fire type.
Say,
I'm gonna go with Cyndaquil.
I can tell. I can tell. So, my bad. Back to the leader. He stuck out to you. Why and what was his Pokemon? I'm sorry, brother. Again, like I said, these questions come up as we talk. So forgive me if I'm rambling.
I understand. I'm just going off of it. So his Pokemon type, I feel like he has like a very like not really rambunctious, but like an assertive energy with his character. I remember there was a Pokemon Johto Journey show. I think Ash might have been in it, but there might have been a cameo of his character.
Got you. They
later on.
wanted to focus on branch off from the. Yeah, I know what series you're talking about, but it wasn't. It was more of an OVA, I think, than a series. It wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's funny how it took Ash almost 30 years to become
Yes.
Pokemon champion. It's like
You know what I'm
this
saying?
man
Like-
been 10 forever. But anyway, so you played as him. So like, were you nervous? Did you feel like when you did your very first cosplay, did you feel like you'd fill out of place? I'm general asking questions.
I felt like I probably did. I did feel like I probably would have been judged slightly. This is a new space that I'm going into. I've never been to a convention before, but oddly enough, I was like, hey, this is actually kind of cool. Like, there's so many people that recognize each other based off of like who they're cosplaying, and then also it's just like people are taking pictures of people as far as like asking them to take a picture of them because they recognize their character. Or they're like,
Yeah, they
hey,
did justice by their character. They didn't make them look sloppy. But anyway, go
Right.
yeah.
You're good. You're good. And it's just like, it's like it kind of gives you that like that sense of euphoria. Like, hey, I could continue doing this. Like, I want to come back and see more people and get that feeling again of like my first convention.
Say less, say less. So we at I think that was the vegetables, the meat and the potatoes. So Static Shock. So out of all the characters and came on WB, you had Shaolin Showdown, you had Pokemon, Static Shock, that Rubik's, whatever, that robot, whatever. I think Metabots was on there before it went to Fox, babe.
Yeah.
So out of all them shows, right? What Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
So out of all them shows, what stuck out to you about Static Shock?
I loved like, again, back to like the purpose and stuff behind the show. Like, I loved the whole dynamic between Virgil and Richie. Like their whole banter back and forth. Like just the whole like real life scenarios that they put in the show. It got canceled, but like it was one of the most popular shows on
And that's
at that time, next to like Batman Beyond. I'm still kind of tight about them canceling the show.
what Static Shock? Well,
Yeah, because like we had no action figures, no memorabilia or anything from the show. Like,
man, look, you want to know something though too? I think WB realized they made a mistake. Well, I don't know what the ratings were back then, but if you think about it, I'm gonna bring it full circle. Anytime Static Shock makes a cameo in anything, whether it was Justice League Unlimited with him being an older man, or even now with Young Justice, those ratings or whatever probably went up because of that nostalgia. That show had more than a decent run. I know it had over 100 episodes. Because you had, I don't know what arc, but you had when he first got his superpowers. What were they called? Bang Babies. The introduction of Bang Babies arc. Like, hey, this person got superpowers. Then they definitely incorporate DC characters in there. Batman made a cameo. The Justice League made a cameo. There was a special episode with and we know as to the why, but with Green Lantern in that episode. So it's like that show definitely was influential. I feel like with Young Justice now they kind of hold him because he was a metahuman, right?
Yeah.
So he's definitely a omega. I definitely did do my research. He's an omega level metahuman. But if you look at Young Justice, like y'all really hoeing my boy right now. I don't like give him his goddamn spinning top and having like this. This dude did solo missions. Now he need help. Like get the fuck up out of it. Am I wrong? Am I thinking like somebody tell me I'm tripping? But anyway, yeah.
It's valid.
But no. So with that being said, like. Outside of my rambling and me asking you what stuck out about him, like what made you go, that's the character I'm a cosplay as?
Honestly, like I saw myself in Virgil. Like Virgil Hawkins is like, it was very much a representation for me. Like, because growing up, I didn't really see too many, I guess, characters that look like me. Or
Who do we have? We have Static. We have Green Lantern. Steel, really, not really.
yeah, Black Lightning, Brother Voodoo.
That's 5.
Um,
Yeah, back then compared to now.
uh,
We can't even say Black Panther because he was just mentioned in comics.
yeah. What's the dude's name that was he was Iron Man's partner, Rhodey.
Oh yeah, no, War Machine.
Yeah, War Machine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh damn, dude. Damn. I really didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we definitely damn. And they canceled the one show that had a really good ass. Anyway, continue. So you felt like that was strong representation of us. Mm-hmm. I'm really glad for that. But of us, in anime or cartoon, whatever you view it as, you felt like that was good representation. So you said, hey, I'm gonna represent this character well and cosplay as him. Yeah. Nah. No. I'll say this. Your cosplay of Static Shock is not sloppy. Like, I would really think that you're about to be, and this ain't me TIP riding, this is just me, like, you would think he's setting himself up for a movie. That's why I was saying, like I haven't, Chris, have you seen too many stuff? I'm saying, no, let me stop. I haven't seen, I'm sorry. I had to, I'm sorry. But I haven't seen too many good representations like of certain cartoons and or anime. Yeah. So that's why when I say when I see how you put yourself together, you cosplaying as him tomorrow? Say you are. We'll take a picture and I'll post it on the community board. I promise you.
I might just because I haven't worn them in a while.
Okay, good. Do it. But but not my bad, brother. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna bring them in my bag because I got a whole another one I want to do too.
But it's just that you did right by your community with that one. So that's why I'm harping on that one. So and again, I've had sit downs with Chris, Tristan, anybody. I feel like, and maybe because we don't have that much representation, I get, but I feel like certain characters we just cannot do. Now, I'm not saying don't do that. At the end of the day, you cosplay as the person you empathize with, but it was just that. If I were to give an example, an individual of an example of who you should cosplay as, I would say, Jeffrey, here's why, X, Y, and Z. If you look at X, Y, and Z and how he cosplays as this, you would see why. That's just, but nah, that's a very like powerful message, right? To me.
Yeah, because there's certain characters that people resonate with that that it's their signature, if you will. Like for example, Chris, like he does amazing Goku cosplays.
Shout out.
Like, and then also shout out Wolfgang for 3D printing my mask for
shout out
Static Shock. Yeah, I reached out to him and I didn't realize at the time that how deep he was into like 3D printing and stuff. And I asked him like, could you make this for me? I had bought the file online off of some website, and I had sent it to him. I was like, hey, can you commission this for me? And he was like, yeah, sure, I got you. And, then,
and he helped make your vision come to life.
Yeah.
Wolfgang, big shout out. Like, if I ever cosplay, it's gonna be as Topo, but if I ever cosplay, I know who to ask. But oh, that warms my heart, brother. Thank you so much for that. Can we touch on your fitness and martial arts journey a little bit?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So if I'm gonna bring it back to the cosplay, I promise you. So how old were you when you started martial arts, and what got you into martial arts?
Well, first off, anime. Anime inspired me on my fitness journey. It's inspired me to get into martial arts.
Y'all hear this? No, let me start. Yeah, anyway.
Because there's like so many different anime that's like martial arts inspired or has elements of it in it. Dragon Ball, like you said earlier.
Baki the grappler, yeah, I got you.
Um,
Any Street Fighter in there, or I'm asking?
I mean, I did play Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken. It, so many hours like playing these different franchises. Sorry, I'm losing train of thought.
No, you're good. 'Cause it posed another question, but like, so no, the question was, what got you? See, I forgot the question too. But what got you in? What got you into martial arts, and how long have you been training?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So I've been doing martial arts for about 2 years now. So I started December of 2022. So December of this year would be around 2 years.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So I believe I was around 28
Okay.
when I started. A friend of mine that I was going to the gym with at the time actually introduced me to a guy he met that was looking for people to
Train?
Train.
Okay.
And surprisingly enough, or ironically enough, the guy that introduced me to the guy I'm working with now, he quit, but I continued to go
Train with this
train
individual.
with him.
So, what were some things you were introduced to in the realm of martial arts?
Just like different elements as far as like, so the gentleman is about early 60s, mid 60s, and he actually got to train.
Oh, so he Paul for real. He an old head. But no, yeah, continue. Yeah.
So he actually got to train overseas with some of the people that trained with Bruce Lee or had affiliations or associations.
So like a house name, basically.
Yeah.
So my bad. Allow me to go off tangent real quick. I didn't know this in the martial arts world, but house names, whether it's karate, judo, capoeira, even boxing, there's like, what was it? Karate Kyokushin. That is a house name. I did not know that. So I thought that there was a manual, and you know, it's just somebody training you off martial arts, but apparently that's not the case. Like house names like that, most house names, and I hope I'm not misspeaking, but they don't even have a manual. It's just tradition passed down through that family teaching on to others.
Yeah, it's like whole systems.
It's surprising how it works, right?
Yeah.
So like with, did it help you kind of like remain calm when you got the jitters and everything?
Yes.
Was that a big thing for you, like the nervousness?
Yeah.
It felt like time and shit slowed down, didn't it?
Yeah, because I have social anxiety. I deal with it through fitness as far as like martial arts or even like calisthenics and weight training. Like I use that as like an outlet to regulate like my emotions. I use it to help discipline me, to put me into like a routine where I can expect to put out like a performance or perform a certain way, and it gives me that sense of strength, if you will.
So you've been doing it for 2 years. Is there a end goal to it? Do you want to like get on the mat, get in the cage, or do you just want to certify? I'm asking.
I mean, it's a possibility. I am kind of interested in seeing what I could do, but right now I kind of just want to see how far I can take it, how far I can like get down to a level of mastery where I can feel confident enough to be able to like spar with someone. Like,
Okay, I got you.
Or take it to that level.
No, I got you. Cause So, Big Unk Zeus, shout out to you. So he told me something, and he gave me perspective when I interviewed him. And no matter what level of mastery you have, you're always gonna have those jitters. So just hopefully, when you do decide whatever it is, the dojo, the ring, the cage, wherever you decide to take it, just be mindful of that. You're always gonna have those jitters and be nervous. Beat the other guy's ass. But let me stop. But I hope you do take it there. The one thing I've noticed about you, this is me giving you your flowers, you definitely are committed, not just in cosplay, but I can personally tell that you take this fitness journey, whether it is in the realm of martial arts or lifting, you take it very, very seriously. This is just my personal request for you because I know I felt this. Chris told me he's felt this before. I know Tristan has felt this. Anybody in the fitness realms, we have all felt this, but there's gonna be a time where we're mentally challenged to where we don't want to walk through and either work out or hit that bag or do the training.
Yes.
Keep your discipline about yourself, and most important thing, brother, this is my advice to you, just always show up. I can't wait to see the great things that you do in the martial arts realm. So, is of course, you know, iron sharpens iron, bro. So as far as your fitness realm, is there something? So I'm gonna say some terms. If it don't resonate, I got you. But if you were to pick like a realm in fitness, whether it's powerlifting, bodybuilding, strongman, Olympic lifting, what would you say you would want to lean towards too? If you were to choose, I mean, if you just go into the gym for other reasons, cool. But like, what if with whatever you take seriously, your martial arts or your lifting, what would you want to, with those four, what would you want to lean towards?
I mean, that's a very good question. I hadn't really thought about it.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna get sad if you said bodybuilding. Like, oh my god, damn. But anyway, yeah.
I mean,
Just staying for bodybuilding, not the bodybuilder. No, let me stop here.
well, shout out to Cam. I mean, that's I feel like that's
Hey,
great,
shout out, yeah.
great for him as far as like his lane. He does well with that. Like, I'm inspired by like, and also shout out to Ram as well.
Hey, shout out.
I know he wants to get into that as well, as far as that competitiveness between Cam and Ram.
So it sounds like you're gonna be a bodybuilder. All right.
Not necessarily. I don't feel like I had the confidence to do that yet. I'll probably be more on the power. What was it?
Powerlifting?
Powerlifting.
Okay, good. Just lift heavy shit and go home. No, let me stop.
Because I really do want to test the limits. Because like I'm vegetarian and I'm trying to transition into like full vegan. Because I do eat some like dairy sometimes, as far as ingredients wise.
So allow me to say this, brother. You'll like whatever community you go into, you'll like. Again, I don't dislike the bodybuilders. I have a disdain for the concept of bodybuilding. I don't bodybuild. I know somebody watching this be like, obviously, but no, there are some things that I was made aware of about bodybuilding. Now, at the end of the day, this is your fitness journey. So whatever you choose, I'm in full support of it. I brought powerlifters, bodybuilders, strongmen, Olympic lifters, cosplayers, martial arts to my channel. I'll say this and then bring it full circle back to you, brother. I apologize. With some of the things I've learned about bodybuilding, the things that it has personally done to people's temperaments versus what powerlifting has done, it made me lean and respect powerlifting more than bodybuilding. But at the end of the day, if, in a positive way, if you can get on that platform or train and influence people in a positive way, I support your journey. I still tell you to come over here to powerlifting. But anyway, and I think this is what people saw in me, because I kind of see it with you. But like, you do have a knack for this thing. Like, the dedication is there. So with whatever you decide to do, whether you get coaching, personal trainer, or whatever, I personally can't wait to see the results that are going to come from it. Like I said, I just ask that you still stay persistent with it, because again, once this goes, unfortunately, everything else follows. Yes. And there are going to be times where this up here goes. Right. So keep doing what you're doing in the fitness realm. Definitely keep doing what you're doing in the martial arts realm. So bringing it back full circle to everything with what you presented to this channel. What are some things you like about the realm of cosplay, and what are some things you dislike about it? Yeah, I know we getting close to the desserts, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really a loaded question. I mean, it's pretty subjective as far as people's opinions, as far as the good and bad.
Okay.
I personally don't like the drama aspects of the cosplay community. Like, I could deal without the drama as far as like the whole cliquish like vibes, as far as like high school all over again. Like, I think you may have touched upon it earlier, but you were talking about like the cool kids versus like the non-cool kids.
And you have to do this or do that, or you're not part of our clique anymore. Like, motherfucker, I'm a grown ass man. I mean, yeah.
I could do without that. As far as a negative.
And that's in the realm of cosplay?
Yeah, surprisingly so. Even though I'm new to like the cosplay community, compared to like people that have like
done it for years. Yeah.
Years. I probably think I'd probably say they would agree as far as the drama aspect. Like they
Okay.
could do without that.
Okay.
As far as positives wise, like there's just a sense of freedom of doing cosplay to be whatever character you want. There's no necessarily judgment. There's an open platform for everybody to be able to do what they want within means, of course, as far as like right and wrong, moral compass, and everything.
So,
But I think the only other thing I'll probably say as far as positivity is just the community. Like everybody is supportive. They're mad supportive of like whatever you got going on as far as whether it's fitness or nutrition or artistic as far as music or anything that you're interested in. It's for the most part pretty supportive as far as endeavors. Like people that make crafts and stuff, people will shout people out like, hey, go look at this person, you should check them out and everything. And it's up to people whether they like it or not, whether they decide to support that person. But just that fact that somebody shouted somebody else out is...
that's in cosplay, and that does cosplay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I apologize, brother. Attention span of a squirrel. I do apologize.
I understand.
Is there anything you want to see change for the better in cosplay? And I know that kind of probably leans back towards the bad, but like I'm all about progression.
Yeah.
So like you help me and my audience identify good aspects of it and bad aspects of it. So from your perspective, what do you think needs to change within cosplay, the cosplay community?
I don't really think there's like one particular way to go about it. There's probably different ways that can be handled, but like more communication. Like if somebody has like a gripe or issue with someone, to try to like handle that privately or pull them to the side and like handle that one-on-one rather than try to like
Get a community against you.
yes, like because again back to the high school like cliquish vibes. Like if
I'm
someone,
gonna say it, you a whole bitch. But anyway,
but yeah, like
and if you feel like I'm talking about you and I don't even know you like that, then just, but it's just that.
but like it's one thing to like not like somebody or not be in support of someone and everything, but like
See how that guy cosplay, you cosplay better as him, don't like him. But
It's-
fuck
it's a-
you. But
it's-
anyway, yeah, I'm sorry.
it's
Yeah.
another thing to like create a whole army to like destroy that person's like reputation or like livelihood and all that. Like that's taking it a whole another extreme to just because you disagree with something that somebody said or how somebody went about going about
Ain't it
something.
a shame, even as adults or children in cosplay, you find something like that in cosplay? Like that's,
Yeah, it's this whole
it's like bullying, right?
Yes, this whole cancel culture, if you will, I guess. I mean, granted, some things should be cancelable, or I don't even know that's how.
No,
you
I got you. I got
say
you.
it, but like, there's certain lines you shouldn't cross. Yes, there's certain things you shouldn't do, but like, just because you disagree with somebody's like opinion,
Or even how they cosplay. Yeah.
like,
And then you willing to take it that far?
yeah,
I've learned one
It's a
thing in
little
life about that. I think that's more of an internal issue that people try to spread like cancer. But to each his own, I got you. So the fitness aspect, right? Based on your fitness journey, what are some things you like about the fitness community and what are some things you dislike about the fitness community?
So I'd probably go with things that I like about the industry is just like the fellowship, the camaraderie as far as like people supporting each other and like giving each other advice whenever they need to. Like if somebody sees somebody's form is off, how they go about going to give them advice.
Healthy critiques.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, healthy, constructive criticism.
Okay.
Um,
Because we legitimately don't want to see you get fucked up. It's not because we're like ego, but yeah.
Like we don't want to see you get injured or die.
Because you dropped the bar on your neck being stupid, but yeah. I've done that before, y'all. I was that dumb. But no, let me stop.
Cause I've had like minor injuries with like my lower back myself because I was lifting wrong as far as like squatting, for example. Like I'm good at squats, but like it's just my form was messed up. Like that's how I messed myself up.
I ain't one to talk on squats because, boy, the way my bad back is set up. Anyway, I apologize. Things you dislike about it, brother.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting off track.
No,
too.
me too. That's why I was like, oh shit. But yeah.
So things I dislike is probably just the vanity aspect of it, like just the almost obsessiveness with like how healthy looks to a person, because there's different body types, there's different heights, there's different
So the expectations that is set in the fitness community, like if you do this or eat this way, you
Yeah.
should look like this or you should lift like this.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then you're not healthy or you're
Yeah.
not good. Okay, I got you.
because like even down to like when you look at like the strongman or strongwoman like competitions, like they aren't like respectfully, they aren't like the like peak of fitness as far as like aesthetic wise.
Yeah, physique.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
they
like-
don't look like Adonis. Oh
But,
wait,
like-
no, we ain't coming at nobody here strong, man. I know somebody could be like, really? Or like,
Mad-
never mind. Never
Mad
mind.
respect to them because they're strong as
Strong
yeah,
as fuck.
Yeah,
You heard that? Y'all strong as fuck. We ain't saying, oh man. I feel like some strong man or strong woman gonna look at this and be like, the fuck? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
it's all love.
yeah,
It is
there's no
definitely all
there's no
love.
shade,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, do you feel like that kind of falls down like on misinformation too?
Yes.
Okay, maybe not misinformation. So, social media has done wonders for people.
Yes.
Also tell the truth, but it's kind of like people have pushed an agenda, like as far as what the bar needs to be set. But if you go down, and this is me saying this, I'm not gonna speak for him, just this is me saying this, but like there's an expectation that needs to be set, and you'll say, hey, you should do this and that to look like this, but whole time you taking steroids, or and ain't nothing wrong with that, but you're giving out misinformation and you're not doing what you say. The Liver King. But had people really eating bull's balls and shit. But the reason why I asked you if you feel like it was also, as far as the bad aspect, misinformation, because people will really, in a sense, kill themselves to like try to meet this unrealistic standard.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize like that's a lot of wrong information out there on the internet.
Yeah.
I'd even go as far as to say like who's really truthful anymore, but that's a different onion in a different category.
Yeah, just sorry, not
No,
to
no, go,
interrupt,
yeah.
but it's just like kind of off topic, but it's kind of like the modeling industry. Like, what was the beauty standard like 10, 20 years ago
Versus what it is now.
Yeah, it's like
Crazy, isn't it?
It's a difference as far as like what was the standard or what was socially acceptable then versus now. It's like it's different as far as the definition, but again, it's like subjective and it's based off of like each person's opinion as far as like what it is. But like it kind of leads me to an introspective thought process of like who says that this is how it should be as far as like the epitome of what that standard is.
Got you, I got you.
We individually make up that standard with our own
Because
definition.
our goals and everything is different, right?
Yeah.
So allow me to ask this, like in the same format, what's something you want to see changed within the fitness industry in Rome?
A lot more authenticity, like
Okay.
just transparency. Like this is how I did to get to this point from point A, B, C.
All the way to Z?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
It may look different for you, but if you take my advice or constructive criticism, you can get a similar result. But your result might look different, but I can help you, guide you along the way.
I got you, I got you. So my favorite part of the interview, shout out. So for North Carolina, with all the cosplays and all the cons you've been to, like, is there any influential cosplayers you want to shout out?
Whew. I feel like the list is like long.
Hey, shout them out. If I can tag them, I'm gonna tag them. So,
Jeez. I'm more of like a personable person. Like I'm a one-on-one type of person. If I can get a conversation with someone one-on-one, it'd be better for me. Because for me, with my like social anxiety, it's kind of hard for me to talk to people in large groups without someone feeling left out. So I do apologize if that's ever happened. I would say Ramses,
Hey,
Cam,
hey,
Wolfgang,
hey,
Diana,
hey,
Chris,
hey,
uh, Riley.
hey. I don't know what that is. I might bring you to the channel, brother. Now let me stop. Or sis, but yeah.
Um, Man, I'm having a brain fart. Like I can't think of Brittany and Sarah.
Hey, don't know what that is. Hopefully I can bring you to the channel.
Uh, who else?
And these are people that have influenced you in a positive way, right? Okay.
Michael.
Hey.
Uh, Mike and Mercedes. They're good friends of mine that I met through a convention. They're both vegan, and Mike, he's actually going to pursue competing in bodybuilding as a vegan, and he's like
Come to
twice.
powerlifter. You said Mike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, come to powerlifter. Now let me start. Yeah, yeah.
Like he's strong as heck. Like he be squatting at least 350 to like multiple reps. At
Come to
least,
powerlifting, you'll be
like,
squatting 600. But let me start. Yeah.
like 5 reps of like 350 or something like that. And like there's this whole negative stigma behind like different lifestyle choices as far as food diets and whatnot. Like there's a myth that if you eat certain things you can't be strong, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. I'll deadlift with a whole donut in my mouth. Get at me. But now let me stop. But these individuals that you mentioned that you can remember so far, they had a very impactful, a positive impact on you in the cosplay community. And would you? So allow me to ask you this: do you feel like they actually set the bar, like as far as not being biased, accepting to others, and all that? So I feel like
I would say Tristan too.
yeah, most definitely. Hey, shout out Youngin. But let me
Because
stop.
like for me, I can learn from someone that's younger than I am. I can learn from someone that's older or someone that's in my age range. Like for me personally, learning is a holistic thing. Like you can learn from anyone. Everybody has something that they can teach you. But sorry.
No. You're good. I struggle with this too, brother. So, as you know, this is gonna be my closing thoughts. As you know, I struggle with social anxiety as well. Chris, can you come in the middle for me real quick? I apologize. As always, I'm a returning guest. So as always, I'm gonna give Chris his flowers. Way back to Tristan, Rebecca, Ram, now Jeffrey. He's networked this and he's brought another very unique individual to my channel. As most of y'all know, my audience, my channel definitely is come one, come all, but if I didn't have a friend like Chris, I would have not been able to bring this individuality, this type of mindset to my channel. I know for some people, you know, like somebody's gonna watch this interview and this part and just be like, hey, because to me, you hit some very, very strong points. But to you, Chris, as always, I wanna say thank you, humbly and respectfully, thank you for helping my channel grow. Is there any closing thoughts you wanna give real quick? I'm just asking out of curiosity. Like with everything that we've talked about, everything you know about my channel and my journey and our journey, is there any closing thoughts you would like to give? Or even any shout outs?
Well, for
Hold
one,
the mic, there we go.
shout out to everyone in the community that I know. There's a whole list. Shout out to you for bringing us to your platform, for allowing us to speak on our perspective on just in general, man, just like cosplay, fitness, or just whatever it may be, gaming.
I got you. No, I'm gonna bring a game on that one day. No, I got you.
I don't know what. I guess my closing thoughts, just continue to do what you're doing. There's people out there that are going to support you, and then there's going to be people out there who really just they don't mess with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man, you inspire people whether you know it or not. People tell me the same, and I don't even realize it, but just the energy from meeting you, people in the community, and it keeps me alive and moving. So it keeps me doing this, and it gives me, I guess, a purpose to keep doing it. But that's it.
Thank you for your thoughts. Hey, Jeffrey, on some real shit, thank you. Allow me to bring you back to my channel as a returning guest in the future. I know you say you struggle with the anxiety like I do, so I want to do it as a two-man, but it'll be with somebody I know for a fact that you're comfortable with. We're going to talk about anime more. We're going to talk about cosplay. We're going to incorporate gaming in there. But anyway,
Cool.
appreciate you, brother.
Likewise.
And we are out.